Everybody, I hope you're all doing well. This is your English Instructor Mudasir Zafarmal and I teach you the English language professionally and practically. First of all, I want to thanks to like my inaugural video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And after students' strict demand, ardently I decided to teach you punctuation marks. In addition, it's very important in order to improve your writing skills. Well, let's start. Punctuation marks. Punctuation marks are special signs or marks used to punctuate writing segments. What do you mean from segments? Segments mean sections or parts. Kinds of punctuation marks, they are mainly divided into two kinds: prefatory or principal marks and supplementary or optional marks. Number one, prefatory or principal marks are those punctuation marks which are essential to be used. They are section number, full stop, comma, semicolon, question mark, colon, and the last one, exclamation mark. Number two, supplementary or optional marks are those punctuation marks which are used when they are required. They are also section number. Number one, quotation marks. Number two, apostrophes. Number three, hyphen. Number four, dashes. Number five, parentheses. Number six, brackets. Prefatory or principal marks, as I told before, that prefatory or principal marks are section number. You're starting from number one, full stop. What is full stop? It's also called sometimes full point or end mark or period, especially in British English. Moreover, it represents falling tone, the biggest or longest pause that comes on the completion of a statement to mark the end of sentence. It's stronger than both comma and semicolon. And uses of full stop. It's very important to know about uses of full stop. It's the most important lesson. How to use full stop, where we can use full stop, and how should we use full stop, where we should put a full stop. So pay attention. Number one, we use a full stop at the end of a declarative or assertive, imperative, and objective sentences. At the end of these three kind of sentences, we are adding or we are putting a full stop. So let's know about their definition. What is declarative or assertive sentence? Declarative or assertive sentences, this kind of sentence is used to state a fact. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most merciful. It's fact shows fact. So merciful means compassionate and kind. At the end of this sentence, we are using a full stop. And also remember, declarative or assertive sentences are those kind of sentences which can be used in both positive and negative sentences. For example, they play football every day, they don't play football every day. So these are declarative or assertive sentences. We are adding a full stop at the end. Imperative sentences indicate order, command, warning, guidance, direction, instruction, and advice. For example, close the door, or we can say bring me a glass of water. At the end of this kind of sentences, we are adding a full stop. Objective sentences indicates wishes, prayers, and implications. For example, wish you everlasting joys. Everlasting means long-lasting. And may Allah bestow you absolution, down with the enemies of Afghanistan. So these are indicating wishes, prayers, and implications. So at the end of this kind of sentences, we are adding a full stop. Let's go ahead. Number two, the most important usage of a full stop. Use a full stop to avoid the common error of combining two main clauses with a comma. Moreover, it is used when the thought is flowing on into the second sentence. Always remember, when we have two main clauses in a sentence, we cannot use a comma. We should use a full stop. And it's common error that most of people using a comma between two main clauses. So pay attention. He works extremely hard. It's an independent clause. She works extremely hard is also an independent clause. At the end of these sentences, we have added a full stop. You cannot use a comma. So remember, clause is divided into two parts. We have independent clause and dependent clause. What is independent clause? An independent clause is a complete sentence. It gives a complete meaning. So he works extremely hard is a complete sentence. It has a complete meaning. And when we say she works extremely hard is also an independent clause. It also has a complete meaning. So you cannot use a comma. We should use a full stop. If we say he works extremely hard and use a comma, it's wrong. Because he works extremely hard is also a main or an independent clause.